Today, the story that I'm reading to you is called Commotion in the Ocean by Giles Andre and David Wachtovich. Just look at the ocean. It's full of all kinds of things. Commotion in the ocean. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the ocean. I think we ought to go and take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea swimming through the pages of this book. There are dolphins and whales and penguins. There are jellyfish and sharks. There's the turtle and the big white polar bear. But can you see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks? Let's take a look and find who's hiding there. So we're going to take a look at the ocean. All that's in the ocean. The crab. Crab likes walking sideways, and I think the reason why is to make himself look sneaky and pretend that he's a spy. Just look at him. Turtles. They pitter and patter, pitter patter. We crawl up the beach from the water to bury our eggs on dry land. Now these bigger turtles are the ones that lay the eggs. We lay a whole batch, and then when they hatch, they scamper about in the sand. So these are the little tiny ones that were born after a while in the sand. Squeak, squeak, click, 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 squeak, squeak. Dolphins. The wonderful thing about dolphins is hearing them trying to speak. It's not how do you do, as I'd say to you. It's more of a click, whistle, squeak. So click, click, squeak, squeak, whistle, whistle, click, click. They're talking all the time while they're swimming. Next, we see an angelfish. Hello, I'm the angelfish darling, the prettiest thing in the sea. What a shame there are no other creatures as gorgeous and lovely as me. Now there also is a jellyfish. The jellyfish just loves to jiggle. What other fish thinks he's quite dumb? Which other fish think he's quite dumb? She knows that it's not all that useful, but jiggling lots of good fun. If you jiggle, it's kind of fun. You laugh all the time while you jiggle. Have you ever jiggled before? You're going to have to have Mom try it for you. Jiggle, jiggle, up and top, jiggling, jiggling, jiggling. Next, we'll see the shark in the ocean. I swim with a grin up to greet you. See how my jaws open wide? Why don't you come a bit closer? Please take a good look inside. Yikes. Yikes, yikes. Out of the way. Get out of the way. That's what them little fish are saying, I bet. Get out of the way. Next we have the swordfish, which is up here. That's the swordfish. See the long sword? I love to chase after small fish. It keeps me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword. So he gets a hold of the fish on his sword, and then he eats them. That's how he lives, is by eating the fish that he's going after. Next, we'll have the octopus. Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think he looks a bit funny, but it helps me to hold all my children and tickle each one on the tummy. So here are all the octopuses. See that? This is the mama octopus, but here's the baby ones. So she's able to keep all the little octopuses close by her. Next is the stingray. Stingray at the bottom of the ocean. The stingray flaps his wings, but don't get too close. His tail really stings. Stings really bad. Buzz, 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 buzz. Lobster. Never shake hands with a lobster. It isn't a wise thing to do. With a clippity-clap and a snippity-snap, he would snip all your fingers in two. Snippity-snap, clappity-clap. Oh, he would get rid of, you wouldn't have any fingers anymore if you held that one of them a certain way. Now look at all these different types of fish in the ocean. Deep sea, miles below the surface where the water's dark and deep, live the most amazing creatures that you could ever meet. There are fish of all descriptions, of every shape and size. Some have giant pointy teeth and great big bulging eyes. Some of them can walk around and balance on their fins, but the strangest fish of all have glowing whiskers on their chins. They have glowing whiskers on their chins. Just look at that. All them fish in the deep sea. In the ocean, someday you might get to go to the ocean and see some of the fish, but you have to be careful. Blue whale. There's no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures a massive 100 feet long from his head to the tip of his tail. Just look at him. Now, over here it talks about barnacles. We're just a bunch of barnacles, and all we do is cling. We know it's not that glamorous, but it's our frolicking thing. So they cling to this fish, this blue whale, and that's how they live, at the bottom of his body. Isn't that interesting? Walruses. Our bodies are covered with blubber, and our tusks are incredibly long. We're grumpy and proud, and we bellow out loud to show that we're mighty and strong. Erg, yerg. That's what they say, yerg. But just look at them. There's sure a lot of them. Penguins. We waddle around on our icebergs, which makes our feet slither and slide. And when we get close to the water, we leap with a splash off the side. So they swim and they swim back on, and then they come back. They're a lot of times playing, but right now they're all getting into the water. Polar bears. Deep out in the Arctic, the mummy polar bear snuggles up with all her children since it's very cold out there. So it's very cold in the Antarctic. Look at all those fish. What a lot of creatures we have seen beneath the sea. What a lot of funny things they do. Some of them might lick their lips and eat you in one bite, and some might want to swim around with you. The dolphin's very friendly, and the lobster's very fierce, but the shark is the most dangerous by far. Can you name the other friends we made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are. So now you can tell your mom or dad what fish are in the ocean and what do they do? How do they do? Do they swim around all the time? Some get on the shore, remember? Some were on the sand. So that is a lovely story to show you who all lives in the ocean. So remember, can you name the other friends we've made along the way? See if you can tell me or Mom and Dad who they are. That was a neat book. Thank you for listening, and God bless.